Okay, day 2, second coat of the top gloss action. Hi there, welcome back to the space. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. Fuck. And action. Hi there, welcome back to the space. So, second coat of top gloss. This first coat looks great, and I kind of described it yesterday, but one of the things it did that I find interesting is that because it kind of puts like a whiskey coat on it, like an aged sort of, almost like a nicotine coat, it really brings out this kind of like another, like a gold aspect. So it's almost like you now have silver and gold highlights instead of just silver highlights, because it gave it kind of like this really rich quality. I don't think it'll show up on the camera because I've gone back and looked at some of these videos I've made. You can't really see what I see here, mainly because I think I got this hot light on it. I don't know if that'll show up on camera, but I'll try to bring it over here and show you the way it has this kind of golden touch to it now. Let me hold on to this carefully, get a better grip on it, and let's see if we can capture some of this sparkle, this kind of gold sparkle that happens. I don't know if any of that will read or not, but it really just looks really rich and beautiful. I mean, look at this, look at the way this looks. It's really fantastic. So I highly recommend, if you want more of a, and I was thinking a lot about this, I was just looking around at relic guitars and the way people do these guitars. Like I saw a boutique guitar on eBay, it was like 5,000 bucks. And it had a finish like this, and you could tell they had gone to great lengths to like age everything that was exposed. And that's sort of what this top gloss does. Like you could work this area off like when you relic, you know, and then come over with more gloss and you'd get like this really smoky kind of like reddish spot here that would look naturally worn off. I really think you could do an amazing kind of relic guitar with stain. It would be a lot easier than taking a guitar and then, like, you know, messing up the paint on it. I think this would provide you with more of like what you actually achieve with a relic finish, which is less finish. That's sonically, that's what's happening, is you're removing finish and you're letting the wood breathe, and which is what this does anyway. God, this is so light, it's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to put this back on here. Wait, I'm not going to put it back on here. I'm going to put it right here. I had a towel. Let me find that. Alright, so the next day, this is day 2 of the finish, you'll want to just do a little, this is like kind of the equivalent of doing 800 grit scuffing, you know, because that's about what this is about 800 grit, or the equivalent. So I'm not going to do much. You'll see, I'm just, because there's not much finish on there, and I don't want to take it off. I like the way it looks, and I just want to do enough to make the surface prepared as well as it can be, to prepare the surface as well as I can for that next coat. But I don't want to, you know, change anything. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There was some like exposed wood here in the trim cavity, and once I put the finish on, you can see how that exposed wood area took on like an aged, kind of aged wood look. Sort of like a piece of furniture. I actually have a bookshelf out there that reminds me of this, and I've always admired it, and I went and looked at it yet last night and noticed how they made it look aged, you know, with the wood underneath. It's really cool. So look at this here. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up, but these little edges caught the little, like this little edge right here caught the stain, and it gave it like a little darker kind of tone. Like a whiskey, like I said, like it's like a whiskey tone. So it's been soaked in nicotine and bourbon, and it'll be interesting to see what this next coat does, how much it takes it, you know, up to the next level. So with that effect, so it's almost like you could go even further with this if you wanted to. Like you could get heavy on it. And the other thing I think, because you could take some steel wool or a little light sandpaper, like a 1,000 grit sanding block, and start slowly working on some of these wear spots. Like if you wanted a wear spot here, or some calculated wear spots to make it look kind of old and relict, and then go over it with this dark top gloss, which would darken the exposed wood. Could be really beautiful and very cool, because that, like I said, the magic of the sound that people are relating to with those relic guitars is the fact that you're getting all this finish off and letting the wood come alive and breathe. So it's kind of a discovery that people have made by relicking the guitars, that you can get a lot of sound out of the wood once you sort of get the finish off and let it breathe. Okay, what's this thing happens already. There's no sealer on there. The pores are open. They take the stain in, and over time the stain's wearing off of this one big time. Right here where I pick, and like I can tell where like my hands go, the neck is going to wear down faster, and it just looks even cooler as it wears down. Okay, I've got my 4-inch rag or so. Clean jar top. We're going to go in with give it a nice shake. And what I've determined from looking at this, it looks like that first coat used up about 1/3 of the bottle. So look at there. About 1/3 of the bottle has been depleted. So today, I'm probably going to start with about another 1/3. I'll use about another 1/3. I'm going to start with a little less, but I'll end up using about 1/3 again. And so that kind of equates, based on the amount of stain I've used so far, I think that it's going to be 3 coats. That's how much it's going to allow me to put on the level that I want, because I like a good coverage. So I think it's going to allow me to do 3 coats. Maybe 4, because sometimes after you've done it, like this second one, we'll start to see that it won't take the stain as well as it did the first day. I mean the top coat. It'll start sliding. I think today it's going to go on thick though, because that first coat was really thin. And I can't see that well over here. So I'm just going to rub some in. I'm going to rub it in. And then we'll see what we have with some light on it. And remember to finish on the up. Yeah, it's starting to slide a lot easier. Yesterday it had some more dry areas. Okay, where's my flashlight? Here we are. That looks really good. I love the areas where it accents the wood. Because of this aged look, there's certain areas where it really just beautiful. Okay, so it's taken almost that entire amount to really kind of cover this front of the guitar. I'm going to do these horns. And then I'll do the sides and the back. But I think, I'm really starting to think that 3 coats is going to do it. Yeah, you can really start to see it filling in now. Just the spots where the wood is darker, it really looks fantastic. I'm really embracing this aged top gloss. Now, if you wanted more of just a clean kind of candy look, like Fender guitars have that look. There's not any aged aspect. It's just very clean and candy and sparkling. You might want to not do the top gloss, because then you could get more of that kind of like neutral, clean look. A surfboard, a brand new surfboard kind of look, or like a brand new car. But it seems like people like the complexity of like this aged top gloss look. That seems to be where a lot of people's tastes lie. I think it looks more like furniture. It looks more clubby. Like it looks like it's been, like I said, it looks like it's been smoked on in a club for many years. And so it takes a while to get that kind of patina. and this basically gives it to you day one. Although I guess if you gig a lot in clubs, although I don't know if people can smoke inside clubs as much as they used to back in the day, you know, whether you smoked or not, you smoked. Okay, so I'm going to continue to do this. Like I said, I think it's going to use up enough so that I will have, looks like I'll have 3 coats. It could end up being 4 because the next coat could go on so it could start to add up, you know, where you're not using as much stain to cover it, and so you will have some and you can do another like light coat the following day. That could happen. I could see that happening. But right now it looks like 3 coats is going to do it. And that's going to be just about right. I can see putting these coats on today that it's getting closer to a finished product. And tomorrow, I mean 48 hours from now will be even more. So here's our timeline. Each coat 48 hours. That included the 3 base coats, you know, the color coats. I did 24 hours on the glitter coat. That went on. That was only needed 24 hours. It's a thin coat. Very thin, it dries quickly. Then, after that 24-hour period, the first coat of the finish of the top gloss. Then, 48 hours go by. Your second coat, which is today. Now, 48 hours will go by, I'll do a third coat. After the third coat, essentially it sits for a week, and then you can start affixing hardware. They recommend to give it a week though, before you start attaching like the pickguard and the trim, the neck or whatever, just because once you put it down on the finish, if the finish isn't ready, you could, you know, damage it ultimately, or make it age too quick, you know, faster than it should. Or like when you take your pickguard off, it kind of sticks to it, leaves like a trail behind. So after the third coat, 2 days from now, we'll do the third coat. After that's completed, it'll sit for a week, and then the body and the rest of the parts go back to Kevin for the completion. So I'm getting close to the finish line here, and it's looking fantastic, and it's been a lot of fun. And I highly, if you want an aged kind of older look, like a more vintage look, aged top gloss, if you're looking for more like a surfer, like super brand new fender kind of like I don't know, it just would come down to your preference. But I think that look would be more of a candy look, you know, like a brand new candy look, and this gives you more of like the rich kind of furniture aged time on stage look, time in club look, which I think I like this because it brings out a lot of the character of the wood. You see things that you didn't see before. There's just some lines and stuff. Oops, I thought I hit a stain. See, like you see like this kind of stuff on the horn. It just really starts to pop out. See these little wood streaks? And I know they were there before, but it just feels like once the top gloss came on, that kind of stuff really just started to pop, which I think really adds to the complexity and the beauty of the finish. Okay, so thank you. I hope you are benefiting from this and learning, like I'm learning every day, because you know every day is a new frontier for this kind of stuff. So anyway, thanks again.